Thank you. Mr Mayor, I was confused in an exchange with Assembly Member Small Edwards. You seemed to be suggesting the £39 billion affordable homes programme. You knew the proportion of that was coming to London because you were saying it was a good deal for us. Could you confirm the proportion of that £39 billion that's coming to London?
Those are conversations we're having with MHCLG. What's really important is to welcome the monies the Treasury set aside for this part of our expenditure across the country, which is £39 billion. And so we'll be applying for a significant chunk of that.
So it's worth pointing out we have no idea whether this is a good deal for London yet. The Chancellor has specifically mentioned Blackpool, Preston, Sheffield and Swindon, but not London. We have no idea this is a good deal for us. But what we do know is that money, even if every single penny came to London, it wouldn't match the amount that you've said that London needs for an affordable programme.
Well, so the government's announced a record-breaking sum for affordable housing. The government's announced this week additional funding for a City Hall Developer Investment Fund. The government's listened to our representations in terms of rent convergence. The government's listened to our submissions in terms of a 10-year deal for social landlords and registered landlords. The government's listened to our lobbying in terms of councils being able to bid for building safety funds. And yet the member thinks it's not good news for London.
What I have just asked you haven't answered, and with due respect for the last 50 minutes, I think you've been eating humble pie with your Labour Assembly members, suggesting that the government hasn't listened to you and hasn't done what London needs. But what we do know is that we got a much better deal from the last government than we currently have for this government on the affordable homes programme. So actually, when it comes to this £39 billion, we have no idea how much we're getting. But I don't think you want to answer that, and I don't think you want to address why you are happy why you are not happy to accept that the number that you asked for 4.9 billion pounds per year. Even if we had all of that grant, we would not get the amount that you asked for. Why don't you address that point?
Mr. Chair, you allow me to address the 3 points made by the member. The first point is in relation to the recommendation made by the task force brought together by Tom Copley, which is before the perfect storm happened in terms of the housing sector. The experts were saying to the government, if you inject £4.9 billion then, that will avoid the perfect storm. The previous government didn't accept that advice. We got the perfect storm. And so that was the reason for the request at that time. That's happened now. We've got the perfect storm. Construction inflation, labour shortages, school shortages, building safety issues, double staircases. That's happened. Would not have happened but for that investment. The second point is in relation to the £39 billion over the next 10 years. Even if you divide that on an average basis per year, £3.9 billion a year for the country, that's way more than the previous government gave for the country per year in the last 14 years.
That's not, your maths is well off, Mr. We'll end it there. He can't even get the maths right.
Let him finish.
And the third point is we don't know how much London's going to get until the budget later on this year. Now, she'd been a legitimate position after the budget, if we got zero, to say we've got nothing from the government. That is not the case.
Chair, I'm just saying, Chair, I'm explaining that earlier the Mayor said that we were in a good position for London. Now he's accepting that we have no idea. So I think we've clarified that. Thank you.
Okay.
In the end, what began as a simple question turned into a brutal political reality check. Assembly member Small Edwards challenged the Mayor on his claim that London was getting a good deal from the government's £39 billion affordable homes programme. Yet, after all the talk, the Mayor couldn't give one clear number, not even an estimate of how much of that money would actually come to London. Instead, he offered optimism, praising the Treasury's national investment and insisting that negotiations were still underway. But his answers raised more doubts than confidence. London wasn't even named among the cities set to benefit, while places like Blackpool, Preston, Sheffield, and Swindon were. The Assembly member hit back hard, reminding him that London needs £4.9 billion every year just to meet its housing demand. Even if the entire national pot came to the capital, it still wouldn't be enough. Her argument was simple: the maths just doesn't add up. As the debate grew heated, the Mayor's tone turned defensive. He blamed past governments, economic challenges, and rising construction costs, calling it a perfect storm. But excuses couldn't hide the truth. After years in office, London's housing crisis is worse than ever, and City Hall still can't say how much help is on the way. In the chamber, frustration was clear. The mayor's earlier confidence deflated as the assembly member closed with a cutting line, so, I think we've clarified that. And she was right, the real issue isn't how much was promised, but how little is known. So the question now is, if the mayor can't even tell Londoners what share of £39 billion their city will receive, how can anyone believe he's fighting for them at all? If you found this analysis useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss our next political update.